As the sun dips below the horizon, casting a warm orange glow over the city, the air grows heavy with the weight of memories. The scent of jasmine and frangipani wafts through the streets, a gentle reminder of a time long past. But tonight, we gather around the campfire of remembrance, to whisper tales of a forgotten battle, one that scarred the very fabric of history. In the sweltering heat of February 1945, Manila, once a vibrant and bustling metropolis, was reduced to rubble and ruin. The city's streets, now pockmarked with craters and littered with the detritus of war, had become a battleground for the bravest of warriors. For 3 long years, the Philippines had been under Japanese occupation, its people forced to endure the cruel whims of their colonial masters. As the Allies drew near, the Japanese army dug in, determined to hold on to their grip on the islands. The American and Filipino forces, weary from months of grueling combat, readied themselves for the final push into Manila. Little did they know that the battle ahead would be one of the most brutal and devastating of the war. The streets were quiet, save for the distant rumble of artillery fire and the occasional burst of small arms. The city's residents, huddled in fear, waited with bated breath as the sounds of battle crept closer. The once resplendent skyscrapers now stood as skeletal sentinels, their windows shattered, their facades pockmarked by bullets and shrapnel. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the city in a sickly yellow light, the fighting intensified. The smell of smoke and sweat hung heavy in the air, mingling with the stench of death. The sounds of war, the crackle of rifles, the whine of machine guns, and the distant rumble of artillery, created a cacophony that seemed to shake the very foundations of the earth. In the midst of this chaos, the Filipino guerrilla forces, made up of brave men and women who had fought tirelessly against their Japanese occupiers, launched a series of daring raids. Armed with little more than courage and determination, they slipped through the shadows, striking at enemy strongpoints and disrupting supply lines. The battle raged on, day after day, as the Allies slowly pushed forward. The city's streets became a maze of rubble and debris, littered with the bodies of the fallen. The stench of death hung heavy in the air, a constant reminder of the war's brutal toll. As the days turned into weeks, Manila became a ghost town, its residents forced to flee or hide in fear of their lives. The once vibrant city was reduced to a mere shadow of its former self, its beauty and charm erased by the cruel hand of war. And yet, even as the fighting raged on, there were moments of quiet bravery. A young Filipino soldier, armed with little more than a rifle and a sense of duty, stood tall against overwhelming odds. He fought valiantly, his bullets finding their mark time and again, until he fell, his body crumpled in the rubble-strewn street. A Japanese soldier, his eyes clouded by the smoke of war, crept through the shadows, seeking to escape the chaos. But as he stumbled upon a group of Filipino civilians huddled together in fear, something within him stirred. He hesitated, then turned back, knowing that his duty lay not with his comrades, but with those innocent lives. In the midst of this carnage, there were moments of humanity, fleeting glimmers of compassion and kindness. A Filipino nurse, her hands stained with the blood of war, tended to the wounded with a tenderness that belied the horrors she had seen. An American soldier, his eyes haunted by the memories of friends fallen in battle, took a moment to tend to a stray dog, its fur matted with dirt and its eyes bright with fear. As the battle finally subsided, Manila lay in ruins. The city's residents emerged, blinking, into the bright light of day, their faces etched with exhaustion, sorrow, and loss. The sounds of war had fallen silent, replaced by an eerie stillness, as if the very earth itself was holding its breath in remembrance. In the days that followed, the Allies continued to push forward, their progress slow but steady. The Japanese army, battered and bruised, retreated into the shadows, their defeat a bitter pill to swallow. And as the war finally came to an end, Manila slowly began to rebuild, its residents working tirelessly to restore their city to its former glory. But even as the dust settled, the memories of that fateful battle lingered, etched in the minds of those who had lived through it like scars on a wounded heart. The sounds of war, the crackle of rifles, the whine of machine guns, and the distant rumble of artillery, still echoed in their ears, a haunting reminder of the brutal toll exacted by conflict. As we stand here, tonight, surrounded by the quiet of the night, let us remember those who fought, bled, and died on the battlefields of Manila. Let us honor their memories with silence and respect, our hearts heavy with the weight of their stories. For in the end, it is not the victories that define us, but the sacrifices we make along the way. And so, as we drift off to sleep, let us carry the whispers of those who fought in Manila with us, their stories etched on our minds like the lines on a well-loved book. May they forever be remembered, and may their memories serve as a reminder of the true cost of war.